Life Unrehearsed, brought to you by Lianas Senior Transition Support, helping you navigate home care and senior residences.
And welcome back. You're listening to Life Unrehearsed. I'm Matt Del Vecchio. Well, we're celebrating National Seniors Day today. Every October 1st is National Seniors Day. We've had some wonderful guests, and the largest advocacy association for older Canadians is called CARP. It's Canadian Association of Retired Persons. And I'm very proud to have on the line Miss Ramona Kaptyn, who is the BC Chief Advocacy and Communications Officer, and she's also on the CARP National Board of Directors. Ramona, welcome to Life Unrehearsed.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, thank you for taking some time on the Pacific coast of Canada as we celebrate seniors and older adults right across the country. First of all, for our listeners, what is CARP?
Well, CARP, as you said, is the Canadian Association of Retired Persons, but you do not have to be a certain age, nor do you have to be retired to join, because many of us continue working or volunteering after we do retire from our paid jobs. And what we do is we promote social change that will bring financial security, equitable access to health care, and freedom from ageism. So we have about 350,000 members across the country, and our mandate is to promote and protect the interests and rights of Canadians as we get older. We advocate with all levels of government.
Yeah, and do a really good job of advocating. And you are right across the country, so you not only have the ears of municipal and provincial, but certainly federal as well. And you're polling members all the time, Ramona. And with these polls, you're able to determine some of the top issues faced by older Canadians. So I would like to quickly address a few of the more popular ones, if you will. And let's start with financial security.
Right. Financial security is a big one. And, of course, pensions. If you don't have a workplace pension, it's very important that you do have a proper government pension. Even with workplace pensions, when a company goes belly up, often the pensioners who have paid into their pension, they're the last ones on the list. The other creditors come first, and it just isn't fair. Another thing that we advocate for are RIF withdrawals. Once you turn 71, the government expects you to start withdrawing what you've saved, and you've saved this for, your later years. Everybody is living longer these days, and many of our members are afraid of outliving their savings. So RIF withdrawals should actually be on a personal basis. The government shouldn't be demanding that we take a certain amount of our savings every year. We should be able to take them when we need them, and this is what CARP is advocating for with the federal government.
Listening to Life Unrehearsed, and it's National Seniors Day today. We're talking with Ramona Kaptyn, who's on the national board for the Canadian Association of Retired Persons, or CARP. You're polling your members. Financial security is way up there. Another one that is crucial is concerning health concerns. What can you say about that from your membership?
Yes, indeed. Health concerns. Well, we all know that there's a shortage of doctors right across the country, so we're looking to get more doctors. Foreign-trained doctors should be fast-tracked. Also, long-term care facilities should be inspected more because with the COVID that we had in the past couple of years, some terrible things took place in long-term care facilities. So they definitely should have more inspections, just like a hotel franchise is inspected every quarter. There should be inspectors going into long-term care and retirement facilities and making sure that everything is properly run and that the residents are properly cared for. Another thing, too, of course, with health concerns is a lot of people want to age at home. They want to age in place. And as long as they are able to stay home, that is what they choose. So the government does sometimes provide, it does provide services, but it's only if you can't afford them. So you have to hire your own agency to come and help you with bathing, with meals, and things like that. But it's getting to be very, very expensive. So we are advocating with governments that they do look at the Better at Home programs where there are subsidies, where people don't have to worry, where they do get the help that they need, and they do stay in their homes longer because it's actually cheaper. It's cheaper to keep a person at home rather than to send them to a long-term care facility.
Right, absolutely. And I think that's going to be a continued struggle for government, but continue the fight there, Ramona, because it's just going to get even more important. And I quickly want to go to one of the top three, and quite frankly, I was surprised that this one made the list. But again, for polling the community of retired persons, environment made top three, didn't it?
It certainly did, and that's because we had a heat dome right across the country. There's an awful lot of climate change going on. We've just had terrible forest fires right across the country, and this has made it very difficult for people to breathe, especially those who have asthma or COPD. So environment is something that is really right at the forefront, not only for our, older adults, our aging population, but they're thinking about their children and their grandchildren. If this keeps up, what in the world's going to happen to them? Things are only going to get worse. So environment is very, very important. We can't keep chopping down trees. We have to really be careful what we're doing in our cities and in our countryside.
And Ramona, when we were talking in our pre-interview, you made me laugh because when we were talking about this particular topic, your response was, "Matt, don't forget, we were hippies." And so it makes perfect sense that environment is absolutely at the forefront. So just good on you for mentioning that. Now,
yes, well, this is the thing. When we were hippies, we didn't want plastic. We didn't want to ruin the world. We were using, recyclables. We were using the same shopping bag over and over again. And I mean, thank goodness some of that is returning because we just can't keep polluting. We have to take our junk back to recycling. It's just something that is so necessary.
It's National Seniors Day. Matt Delvecchio here on Life Unrehearsed, and we're talking with Ramona Kaptyn. She's on the CARP National Board of Directors. We're running out of time very quickly. I do want to get your opinion, Ramona, because I know CARP is doing so much for advocating, and there's local chapters right across the country. Check them out. However, also, what can older Canadians in general, what can we do right now to help the cause?
Well, we can join CARP because we do advocate with all levels of government, and the more members that we have, the louder our voice. You can go to carp.ca and you can get a membership for about $15 a year. It's really not very much. We have specials all the time. The other thing you can do is volunteer. We have such a shortage of volunteers right across the country. There's food banks you can volunteer at. You can volunteer for your hospital auxiliary. There are umpteen different things that you can do, and you meet new friends. You get to do lots of fun things, and it makes life just that much more pleasant. Volunteering is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
So glad you mentioned that. I'm on the board of Nova West Island, and of course they've got all these thrift shops, and so many organizations have to rely on volunteers, and there's a shortage. And so if you have, just to give a little bit of your time, choose something that you're passionate about, but so important about volunteers. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Ramona,
libraries, school lunch programs, there is all kinds of things. You can go online and find out look for volunteer opportunities, and there'll be something right in your own backyard.
For sure. Exactly. In your backyard is right. Very municipal, nonprofit oriented, just around the corner. Well, thank you, Ramona, very much for taking a little time on Sunday to be with us.
Thank you very much for having me, and great to you. Have a great rest of the year, and be well and stay safe. Thank you.
You too. That's Miss Ramona Kaptyn. She's the BC Chief Advocacy and Communications Officer for the Canadian Association of Retired Persons, and she's also on the CARP National Board of Directors. All right, next week on Life Unrehearsed, we're going to meet the new president of the MUHC Foundation. And do you have your legal documents in order as you age? Well, you might want to take a second look. Thanks for tuning in to Life Unrehearsed. As a reminder, for all your inquiries or assistance with life transitions, elder care planning, home care, and the senior living industry, it'd be my pleasure to help. You could find out more if you look up Lianas Senior Transition Support. That's Lianas, Lianas, Senior Transition Support. Many thanks to our technical producer, Dario. Great job today. You can listen to Life Unrehearsed here on CJD 800 every Sunday at 4 p.m.